Hey guys, Aquarian here. Today I'm going to be building a Yu-Gi-Oh deck on EDOPro. What I like about EDOPro is that it has all the cards unlocked from the jump, including like anime cards and even the pre-release or unreleased cards that have yet to drop on Master Duel and TCG. So that's pretty cool. I usually use this for my deck building, but I usually play ranked on Master Duel. Also, speaking of which, this deck I'm gonna build is gonna be under Master Duel rules, since that's what I play the most. The reason I decided to make this video of me deck building, I don't know, I really love deck build a lot, so I thought I may as well just, record me deck building. Some people requested it. I'm in a Yu-Gi-Oh live stream chat on YouTube, on Con TV channel, so if you guys want to check out the stream, it's 24/7 of the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's see. I may as well just get started, because the deck we're going to be working on is the 3 Egyptian god cards, Apophis and Mitsurugi. I already built it before, but I cleared it out so I could build it from scratch, so I could like go piece by piece with you guys, try and explain how it works. Just give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up the screenshot of the deck so I can make the process a little bit quicker. Alright, let's start with the big ones right here, because we have to explain these 3 first and how they work. Slifer, keep in mind, like, this build, I guess, it's gonna be really it's gonna be different than the normal, like, Apophis, at least. Mitsurugi, it's pretty much the same, but usually Apophis is trap oriented. Well, that's the way most people play them, but I kinda turned it into sort of like combo slop type thing. Let's get these guys. Okay, here's the thing about Obelisk and Slifer before we go any further. These 2, I'm not running any support for these 2, and I'll explain why in a second. But for Ra, but definitely running the support, because the support is pretty decent, It's not like the most powerful engine, but it has a pretty good engine for a god card, unlike the other 2, so. Usually, I do 3 of these, but since I'm doing the 3 gods, I gotta cut 1. But you guys can keep it in if you want. But I'll show you the trick with these guys and why I run them specifically. Before that, let's just get the rest of this raw stuff in here. Definitely run this, the ball. Comes in handy, and I'll show you a couple different ways that the ball actually really helps. I'm not gonna put in the Immortal Phoenix because it's kind of too bricky. Even though we're using Apophis, we're gonna leave Dangers of Divine out, but we are gonna put True Sun God in here, and the rest are hit or miss, so that's all you really need. When it comes to Ra's Disciple, he's only good in like certain decks, like say Branded, where you could use Sanctifier to like drop him on the opponent's field. But this deck doesn't really have anything to like be cheap like that, so no Ra's Disciple, because it's just gonna hold us back in this deck at least. And yeah, no Immortal Phoenix, and I wish this was released in TCG and Master Duel. It'd be great. By the way, this is a deck I got up to Division 17 of the Duelist Cup with this, but then I kind of started getting clapped. Anyways, and I had to switch. But the deck I switched to, I'll do that another time because I want to get this done quick enough. Okay. Start with the basic maxi before we do anything. In fact, let's just put all the hand traps that I want. And yeah, it's gonna be one-offs for now. If you guys are able to, you can like add in more, because obviously you need more for like the meta game and whatnot. But this deck is pretty good even with the like slim hand trap lineup, because I got pretty far with it. I just couldn't, break people as easily once I got to Division 17, so I went on a losing streak. Then I switched and then I made it to 19, but we'll leave that for later again. Alright, check Veiler. Like, if you guys want, like, I like putting like one of each, because that's what can actually fit right now. I like the alt art for this one. I don't like the alt art for Ash. It's too gooner for me. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's the thing about running the gods, you kind of have to sacrifice a lot, so. But if anything, you could cut one of these engines out completely, because the 3 gods could work with either of these. It's just that the 3 of them probably works best together with Apophis, and the reason I have Mitsurugi in here is also to Mitsurugi also facilitates like Ra, for example, so I'll show you why. Mitsurugi, it's kind of good with Slifer because you build up your hand size, but it's not easy to really get him out with Mitsu Apophis, except for one trick that I'll show you guys just now. Same for Obelisk, although he does have better support that gets him out easier, so. But usually, and yeah, he would be good in Mitsurugi too, because you could sacrifice the Mitsu monsters and have them come back. Not to summon. When you summon them, you can't activate effects, but when you use their effects, like his board wipe, then yeah, the Mitsu pieces can come back, so you're not vulnerable with just Obelisk on the field, even though he has protection compared to the other 2. Slifer is the trickiest one, because the support is like, it's so niche. That's the thing. That's why I'm not running any support in this deck, because the deck doesn't really function the way the support needs to for these 2. But I digress. Alright, let's just finish up this little bit of hand trap in here. Here's a unique hand trap that I like to use. Hot Air Squadron, 2 of those. During the opponent's phase, you could synchro summon using him, as a quick effect from the hand, so. Because I run synchros in this deck, and I'll explain why I play synchros instead of, say, Xyz or even Fusion, because Fusions is more popular with Apophis, and Xyz usually goes with Mitsu. And I never really use links like that. Maybe like a couple links, but the links don't really matter to them. Top Air Squadron, so we got that. Boom. We put Imperm in. Oh. This is really good, even though it's not, say, a hand trap, it's just a really good card. It's more of a board breaker, of course. Unfortunately, I can only have one, but like I said, you guys can adjust the decks and, put more hand traps in. or less, depends on what you're looking for. But the way I'm building this, I think I can't have too many hand shafts. I'll show you why. Okay. Here's one that might be a bit toxic to use. Retaliate and see. Because, you know, any card that goes to the graveyard is banished instead, so it's kind of messes them up. And then you get max C from it. But there's another thing that you get from it, and which is why I run it in 3s. Gale. Opera. This guy. Here's why. Herald of the Arclight. That'll be a first edition. Okay, here's what I like about Retaliate and See. Say it's the first turn, and while I'm going second, I get it out. And then they're scrambling. And then I have, say I have Hop Air Squadron in my hand at the same time too, then I could easily just synchro summon. And usually, since this is level 4, Retaliating, that's level 2, this is who I like to go into, Silvera. Because Silvera flips all the opponent's cards face down. And the duel that this really came in handy with was against Vanquish Soul K9. I waited for them to flood their field with like 5 monsters, and I popped this out with Squadron and just flipped all their cards over, and they kind of just quit right away. So that was funny. But this is why he is important, because usually most people use Retaliate and C just to get to max C, but what I realized is that this is an insect and it's less than 1500, just like it wants, so it technically searches this as well. So say you really need to get to your Mitsurugi because he dumps a monster from the extra deck to the graveyard, which is, this is what I dump, because once he gets dumped to the graveyard, you can add 1 ritual monster or 1 ritual spell. So, you know, it's just a consistency booster for Mitsurugi, especially with the hits to prayers. And since I am using the Master Duel ban list, I am gonna have it at. I am pretty upset that prayers got limited to 1, because usually that's what I use with these 2, and this is what I'm gonna explain with Ra right now. So Guardian's Line, when he take damage, you could special summon him. Mitsurugi Prayers, it gives you 800 damage that you take. It doesn't trigger if you pay life points. So this guy paying 3,000 won't trigger him. So this is more like a last resort thing for me too sometimes, but sometimes I get in my opening hand, so it's like a first resort. So yeah, prayers, you activate prayers, take damage, and then you basically turbo him out on your turn instead of, say, you know, waiting for them to attack you and then summon him like that. You just take the damage now, get him out, and then from there go straight into Egyptian God Slime, and then you'll trigger the effects, and you can either add like that or that. Usually I go for this because no special summon monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned when this is on the field, except for Ra. Let's see, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got like 11 staple. Usually it's 12 is the common number, but it is a bit of one-offs, and this will be a 60 card deck, so let's continue. Yeah, so you go from him, when you summon him first turn, you go into Egyptian God Slime, and you could go into Ra if you want to, but I usually stick to leaving him on the end board instead for the protective reasons, and then keep these guys for the finishers basically. However, I do like that he can pop monsters like continuously, but although you gotta pay 1,000, you can really clear a board with him, although his board wipe is better. But let me show you how I like to use Slifer and Obelisk in particular. So with the Apophis stuff, so of course this lets you activate a trap on your turn when you set it, but that's not all it does. You can send this to the graveyard with this guy, the classic circuit that no one runs, but I run him because you can send these to the graveyard together, and then you can summon any monster from the deck. Come on, stay on there. Like, look at this. You can send one mystical beast from the monster zone to the graveyard, special summon one monster from your hand or deck, or one fusion monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. So look at what it says. Special summon any, well, not any, but special summon one monster. It doesn't work on certain cards like rituals, of course, because that needs to be summoned properly. However, I use this to pop these two out. You can't use it with him because you can't special summon him. So basically, I just hold on to them. They could be buried deep in the deck, it wouldn't matter. I could always just bring them out with this. But I should just use them as finishers. Because, well, what else are you going to do with these two? Besides that, the support, it's not really good enough. You could run the Obelisk support in this, but you got to figure out how to make space. And I don't think we really need it that much. So let's just continue on. Alright, since we're on here, we're just going to put the circuit, just one of each. Let's just continue Apophis. Well, that's the basic strat with Slifer and Obelisk, with Apophis at least. And when it comes to the Mitsurugi side, what helps is that Mitsurugi really increases your hand size pretty well with the engine, so I'm gonna have 3 of him. Since they limited this to, well, semi-limited, you're gonna have 2, so put in 2. I like having him for, you know, extra bodies to get to, like, King of the Feral Imps. Speaking of which, there you go. Before I forget, you already know how this works. Search any reptile, add it to your hand from the deck. So 1 of him. I put 2 of these. You could put 3 if you want more negates, but usually this is the standard for these. Apophis, got that. Alright, hold on. Let's do it this way. Temple. Him, you gotta have 3 of him. For sure. Did him. Yeah, I'm trying not to take too long, because I want to also do a practice duel. The last video I made take way too long, so let's move this along. Okay, let's see. I think that's everything for Apophis. Yeah, but basically, you know, I just use Apophis to get these out, you know, well, circuit to get them out cheap. Not really anything else, so. It's unfortunate, but it's pretty fun to just whip them out for the finisher. Okay, let's continue on. I think I got all the Apophis stuff. Let's just go straight into Mitsurugi. Now. 1. Since prayers got hit to 1, maybe you could run 2 of these, but honestly, to me, I haven't really felt that big of a difference. Because I have been running, even though the ban list is not in effect yet, I have been running, you know, the limited size just to get used to it. Honestly, it's not too bad. I think Mitsurugi would be fine for now. Him, I put 2 of him because sometimes I draw him into my hand while I have Habakiri, and like I need him to be in the deck. So I need one of these guys in, one of these guys out. So that's how that works. Him, he's good, but because we have, well, I'm not gonna put that yet, but let's just put the rest of these. 1, 2, boom. Let's see what else we got. Mitsurugi Mirror, which is Garnet, unfortunately, pretty bricky. This one's a little bit less bricky, but still. I already have the 1 prayers in there. I usually like to use this too, and Purification. The only ones I don't run is this and Tempest. I think Tempest is a little bit too specific. I don't know. What's the right word? But yeah, it's not easy to use, so I don't run it. This is actually pretty good. Like, it has protection, but I mean, the reason I leave it out is for space reasons. But, and I don't run this because I don't really mill my deck like that. This seems good if you pair like Mitsurugi with, say, Tournament, then this comes in handy. This is a must run. But in this deck, we're not milling. We're just controlling the opponent with some combo slop, you know, and you know, just outlast them and get these guys out and just, you know, flex on them. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on if you like to flex or not. Okay, I think that's all for these guys. So I already explained Ra, right? How prayers take damage, activate him, get him out, go full combo basically, turn 1 with Ra. So that's why I really love Mitsurugi, and that's why I really hate the fact that this went down. Even though there's other cards I could use to the same effect, this is just more convenient engine-wise and stuff, because anything else would be like non-engine. So it's kind of tricky. But yeah, okay. You go into Egyptian God Slime from him. Pull 1 of these, depending on what you need. If it's your first turn, then maybe this one. If it's your second turn, then this one. I would run these in 3, but I don't have the space, and I kinda need these. These are pretty they're really swinging the game, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I have it at 3. But yeah, okay, and another thing about Ra that really works well with Mitsurugi is this guy. Because, like, when you summon these 3, you cannot activate effects once they're summoned, so you won't be able to revive these guys if they're tributed for these guys. However, this guy here, the ball, he has no such, you know, problem or, like, clause in his text. So say you want to sacrifice hero monsters instead, you could easily sacrifice the Mitsu monsters and then they will revive and come back, and then you can just, you know, bring Ra out with 4,000 with this guy, which is a pretty good cheat code. So, like, imagine, like, you haven't tributed any of these 3 yet for the turn, and then, you know, sacrifice them for this. So now you got 3 of these, and then a Ra to deal with. So Ra really works well with, like, Mitsurugi. So if you want to do like just a pure, like, Mitsurugi Ra deck, then you should. If you need space and you don't want to run too many engines and stuff, I don't know if you could really run the 2 with just Mitsurugi, but Ra with Mitsurugi, it's like perfect, so I'll probably build that as well and show you how I would build it. Anyways, moving on for lose track of time. Okay, here's 2 cards that this could be a brick sometimes, and with prayers moving to 1, it's I don't know, it's kind of iffy, but at the same time, it's really good for having extra bodies. So we'll leave him in for now. But you could always cut him because he's not crucial. I thought he was, but he really isn't. She, however, is crucial because where is Aramasa? Like, he searches the Me Too monster and stuff like that, but I only have 1 of him. So she searches level 8 reptile monsters. So it's just another consistency booster. And a cheap rarity as well, so I get to save on UR and, you know. Okay. Alright, the dog. Oh, you know what? We don't really need this, but I like having it anyway. Super polymerite, just 1. Because we're not really going to be using that many fusions. And I'll build this up in a second. But we're just going to use 1. For space reasons, again. That's the unfortunate thing about the God cards. You do have to create space for them. This one is kind of optional. But it's not, and this is why. At least, I mean, okay, Metal Reflect Slime would be pretty, like, average in, like, most decks. But with Apophis, it's pretty darn good because of... There we go. Once you summon her, you can set 1 continuous trap face down. So say I ran through most of my main, like, holding on trap monsters, then I could just have the rabbit set Metal Reflect Slime instead. It basically speeds up this card too in a way. But if you want to cut it, you can cut it because it's really just neat. You really want to just get to these guys mostly for the negates and stuff, depending on the phase of the game and stuff, or the flow. Alright, continuing on. Imperm, okay. We got 4 spots remaining. Oh, how can I forget this? This is so important. Extremely. Free preparation of rites. 1, 2, you need 3. Oh, and last but not least for the main deck. Alright, so let's just review real quick. So, Obelisk and Cypher, we leave them for later. We're not trying to, like, turbo them out or build a strat around them technically, because you can't really. So I special summon either 1, depending on my hand size and the state of the board, the opponent's board and stuff, you know. I get him or him out by a circuit, Temple of the King. Classic circuit. This one, the new one, it doesn't do that. Only this one can do that trick. And that's really all for these 2 once again. And then Ra, you know, got Guardian Slime, triggered by prayers. Or if you discard them, you know, you could still get the one of these cards, even though you won't get to summon him, which is really pretty good, to be honest. Or you can use him sacrifice the 3 Mitsurugi if you have them out on the board, and they'll all come back if you got if you got the cards in the deck to draw when you tribute them, of course. So that's the 60. Miracle Raven, this is good because it's also a consistency booster. Like, you put it in the pendulum zone and say someone negates this, you have a Kiri and you got nothing else except for this. You can put this in the pendulum zone and then tribute him to summon him, and then that triggers his effect because he's been tributed. So it's just extra consistency boosters, especially with like prayers going to one, suck, but whatever. Let's get to the extra deck real quick. So as you can see, I already have 2 synchros on here, and these are the only fusions we're gonna have. And let's just finish out the XEs. Whoops, wrong size. What's the zombie vampire? I mean, it's not a milling deck, but she mills a little bit, but it's not crazy like Pilgrim Reaper or like Tournaments. I don't know why people want this card banned. It's a cool card. It's useful. Is that why? It's too useful? So ban it. Here's one many probably won't use, but I use it because I'm running 60 and I'm only have 1 maxi, and honestly I don't have room for any of the Malcharmery, so detach 1, draw 1 card, reveal it. Then if that was a monster, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Basically you get to draw 3 cards. It takes 3 monsters, so it's a big cost, and you can't attack the turn, well, you can't conduct a battlefield the turn you activate this effect. So this is a turn 1 card for sure, but it lets you draw 3, which is crazy, and also does burn damage, which is like kind of crazy, to be honest. Up to 3 times per turn. Yeah. So yeah, I got him in. I don't know why he's like a low rarity, because that's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty strange to me. Alright, we got 3 fusions. We got our picking up the Feral Imps, of course. Consistency is the name of the game. I got up to Division 17 in this one. I did have to switch, so because of Radiant Typhoon, like the stupid MST negates stuff, It's cool though. Oh, she's important. She's mandatory in like almost every deck to me. That's just me though. Like, she's so useful. And then of course we need IP. I like this artwork. Just to get to Goddess on their turn. Oh, why did I do 2 of these? Cut 1. This is where the fun starts. The rest of the extra deck is all gonna be synchros. That's the one thing about me, I kinda don't go with the norm. But I think synchros work better in this deck, and I'll explain why in a second. Gotcha. For destroy, draw 1. Flip every card face down, negate, search. This does like a Snake Eyes type thing, which is pretty good. Last but not least, we're up to Supreme. Supreme Sovereign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 synchros. The reason we're doing synchros instead of like XEs, and I guess even like fusions or links, because Well, she got 6, and everything else is at 3. It's because of the varying levels in my deck. Like, say a regular Mitsurugi deck, it's mostly just level 4s, level 8s. So you can just go into rank 4s, rank 8s easy. Technically, I could go into rank 4, 6, 8, and 10. But since I got so many varying levels, I don't know. I thought it made more sense for me to run Hoppier Squadron. But if you guys want, you could cut Hoppier and add more fusions or more XCs, or however you want to do it. This is the lineup I used. If anything, I'll do a little side deck. Light Dragon Ignista. That's a really good one. That's a side deck. Also a side deck, if you want, it's tough to swap out with. I used to use him a lot. He's pretty good. Protect spells and traps. Well, face up. So, in a way, maybe you should be running this over Legatia, but I do like Legatia's Destroy and then draw 1, especially in the 60 card deck. So, same for them. Mill, summon 1, draw 3, draw 1, plus Destruction. Like, I try to build them with different sort of each of them have like different looks to them, so that's what I was aiming for. And it worked pretty well, so. But if you guys wanna, swap these out for like more XCs and stuff, like here's one, Whole Harbinger. I'm just gonna put some random ones in here. Kirsu. Secretarian. I never spell that right. Secretary. That could be a side deck too for like when you're up against Hotel or something. This is a tuner, so it could technically, help out when you can't draw these. But we leave it in the side deck for now. Maybe in the future I'll put it in. I just don't have it on Master Duel right now. And I guess, just an odd, Oh, here's one I really like too, even though I didn't add him in. Cursed Thunder God. Side deck. Could destroy, tribute him, destroy, all their monsters, well, face up monsters or face up spells. It's basically like a slightly softer version of, say, Shockmaster, I think. If you want to mill, that would, you can mill if you're running their support. Their support are like milling type support, so put this in the extra deck, because you can mill this deck and recover cards with, like, we gotta switch things up, so. I guess this deck is so, I want to say it's a fun deck, but at the same time I was like really destroying some meta decks, so it's like fun but not fun. Oh, it's fun and competitive at the same time, to a degree. Of course, you do plateau when you go to a get to a certain place. But let's save this, because now we're gonna go duel real quick. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Wait, did I save it? Okay. As long as it's saved. So I don't want to drag this on too long, because it's already 40 minutes. Didn't realize it took that long to build a deck. So I'm going to use what I built. So my objective here is just to show you the combos. I'm not really... But I do want to see if there's a weaker one I could use. I never played against this one before. I'm probably gonna, probably gonna destroy it, but I just want to show you guys how the combos work more than anything. So, normal monster bash. Let's go. I'm going first. Alright, start with Apophis. Get him. And just the basic combos to start. Boom. Get him. Set the other one. Activates. From here, we want him. As you can see, we bricked up on the Mitsurugi side. But like, I really don't want to run two of these, because it's too bricky. Like, unlike, like, say, Aramasa, which is a starter. So this is just dead right now. Usually this is how you would use Dangerous Divine. Send Ra to the, Banner Zone. Then hope you get like the card Dangerous Divine. Which I'm not running, so that's why I put him in there instead. Okay. Yeah, my bad, okay. Lost track because I heard someone at the door. Hopefully I'm gonna go do anything for now. For an old card, like a really classic card, like this is pretty. Temple of the Kings is like really, really great. Like, so instead of going into Apophis, I'm gonna use Feral Imp to do the trick real quick. Let's activate that. As you can see, it's just mostly the, normal Apophis and Mitsurugi combos from your deck, from your hand. That's the better route. 1, 2. Trigger them, and then trigger the next one. Have him pull that back. That's the usual. Send him to the hand. And then we get to play this again. Boom. This time we go from deck. Just a normal Me Too combo so far, really. So nothing to write home about. I need that for next turn. So, as you can see, I got prayers here. But it's limited, so I am not gonna use them. I'm gonna save that for next turn. That's how I do it now with that. So I guess that's... because if you use it now, you won't have it next turn unless you somehow get it back to your hand. So, like... yeah, you gotta save it until I figure out how to get it back on, like, the turn I used it. Just to have it for next turn, because you use it the first turn, you're not gonna have it the next turn, but... alrighty, got that set. Oh, now we can use this, but... I did that to make space, to be honest. That's the one thing about this deck, it does get a bit clogged, so you gotta be careful. Oh no, we don't want him yet. We wanna summon him real quick. Forget what I just said. Oh boy. I just said the field gets clogged and I was trying to play this crap without noticing. Okay. I'm smart. Let's see. What can we do here? Oh, nothing else really. At least we got that. And boom, boom, boom. Activate. Shuffle and phase. Nah. No, we gotta see what they do. It's not helpful right now. No, we leave it. No, we don't need to. Here's what I want to show you. It's the main thing I want to show. Nope. Get him out here. He's who we want right now. Oh, speaking of, I can do this. Send him away. Nope. As you can see, there's a lot of well, okay, a lot of gas. deck. I don't know why I put that in attack mode. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Her. Nope. But you see, it's good that we have so many options. Maybe it's unfair, but whatever. Doesn't really matter at this point. Because this is what we really wanted to see here. Summon this bad boy. We'll take him. I wanted to get him, but you know, I got too many monsters. So there's no point. He's not going to be able to come back out. But this is what I really wanted to show you guys. What I mean, activate, send both of them. Nope, we don't need these. And look at this, we could special summon any one of these cards. Slifer, Obelisk, even Retaliate and Sea, like, and fusion monsters, like, that's why I say if you want to put more fusions in there, just for like, this kind of stuff, then go ahead. Since I don't have the board and shit, I'm just gonna put Slifer out there. Battle phase. Nope. So as you can see, this is how, well, this is the best way I've found to play all three and like keep them somewhat relevant, because I mean I got them out in the field, got 4,000 life points. About to murk this weak AI. Nope. Alright, and that's it. And that wraps up the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you did, hopefully I explained things as well as I can. Sorry that I took like forever to finish. But thank you again.